Hey guys, XJ9 here, and today's gonna be a patch 14.1 patch notes for League of Legends. And to be honest, I've already read this, so I'm gonna try to be fast about. It's pretty simple. I mean, there's some small changes, but I'm gonna just go through like the most important things, at least I think are important. So I don't really care about this stuff, some kind of visual upgrade stuff, blah blah blah. So instead of first change is gonna be instead of herald, there's gonna be three things that spawn. And essentially, when you kill one, you get a buff where whatchamacallit, I think it just do more damage to the turrets, and like if you kill, I mean, we can honestly read this, but like essentially, it's a buff for turrets. It only has like split pushing, and also when you kill one, the other two get a max HP shield, based on, or is it a heal? I believe it is a shield, so yeah, we're gonna look into that. But in general, you also need someone to actually help you with this, because if you're the only one here, you're going to deal 50% less damage because they give the Baron debuff where the main target deals 50% less damage. One thing I do wonder about these things though is, let's say that like Shaco's there, right? And what if I'm over here on the right attacking, but does this one aggro on me, or does it only aggro on like the first person they aggroed? And also, if this, let's say this one attacks me when I'm attacking this one from here, does the debuff only apply to, like, I have the 50% less damage debuff, but it only works on this one, and I do full damage to this one? Those are things I don't know, but that's something to take note of. So yeah, what every void grub you get gets a stack. If you have 5 stacks, you can spawn a void might. Um, if you kill the 6 stacks, so I think you have to kill them all, which would be actually insane to get them all. So I think you're encouraged to definitely contest at least 2 of them to prevent the enemy team from getting juiced. And yeah, void grubs will a 25% maximum HP plus 25% missing HP shield on the case over 10 seconds. So it's probably to discourage people lowering all 3, because then they'll get a giant shield. You can't kill them for 10 more seconds. So I wonder how that'll play out. I wonder what the most optimal usage of killing those will be. It'll be found out fast though. Um, and I believe, yeah, the first void grab per spawn group will count as an epic takedown reward for the one for the first one you participate in killing. So let's say this is the first group that spawned, and I say the whole team kills one, they'll all get a stack of like legend electricity or whatever it's called for attack speed, right? But then if they kill the other two, it won't be nothing. But let's say 10 minutes pass. Okay, here another set spawn. The first one will give a stack. So that's just important to note about these things. So Cho'Gath, if he eats the second one, like let's say this one's dead, he eats the second one, he won't actually get any epic monster stacks. Rift Herald, I guess Rift Herald does come back. What are the grubs here for? I think they spawn like very early in the game, like 5 minutes. They think they said. Yeah, 5 minutes into the game. Yeah, when did Rift Herald spawn? Like what? When I don't even know when Rift Herald spawns. Does it even say? I don't think they even said when it spawns. You're supposed to just know. What's up with that? Why do companies just think you're supposed to just know? Oh, they say it here. So yeah, Rift Herald spawns at 14 minutes, and Void Grove for spawn time 4 minutes. Okay. That means the latest you can kill them is like 9 minutes about. You can kill another set if you kill all of them. I kind of feel like they should have said that the Rift Herald spawn time here instead of saying it over here, which is kind of weird. So yeah, Rift Herald is still in the game. Something to do with hopping on his back. I'm not sure how this works. This kind of looks complicated. Probably very easy to do. But when it charges and it hits a tower, you'll get knocked the opposite direction. So I'm not sure really how this even looks, but oh wait, do these not have Baron's Gaze? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. I was for some reason under the impression that they even removed Rift Herald when I read this. I'm not sure why, even though I saw the Rift Herald. So these don't have Baron's Gaze. I lied. See, I don't know why I thought that. Oh, maybe they do need Baron's Gaze. Because I don't. Man, I have issues. As in, I have issues with this. So Rift Herald has Baron's Gaze, where you need two people to kill the Rift Herald, or you'll kill it very slow. Uh, I honestly feel like, I mean, these are voidlings, so shouldn't these have Baron's Gaze too? I just don't understand that if it's a void creature and it's in the Baron pit, why doesn't it have Baron's Gaze? That's my question. I actually think that's a RuneScape moment where they just make something follow a different rule all of a sudden. Does this thing still have its eye attack? I mean, I'm assuming it does. I'm assuming it still has the eye in its back. Um, I think besides that, yeah, they didn't change anything about it. They just graphically updated them and they changed how the charge works. So you know, you can find how that works. Another notable thing is the empowered recall is anyone who assisted it, their next recall is empowered instead of being able to empower recall. Another good thing is that if your eye runs out, it'll auto cast with no delay, so you won't like stutter and die. And if you're dead and the eye times out, it spawns right found. I actually like that change because I actually think it feels like garbage where when it just despawns and nothing happens. So I actually think that's a good change. Baron Sentinel, and Brambleback. So essentially, after Baron emerges at 20 minutes, the next time Blue Sentinel and Red Brambleback spawn, what's gonna happen is you're gonna have a Baroned up version, and when you kill them, they buff everyone in the map with that respective buff. So if someone kills blue buff, your allies, all your allies are alive will get blue buff. And I wonder if there's like a timing thing, as in like, can you purposely maybe delay your blue buff so that you? I mean, I'm not sure how much you would have to delay it, or even if you have to. But it'd be funny if you could delay your blue buff killing so that you know, as Baron spawns, this thing spawns like 202, and everyone on your team just gets a blue buff, and you do like some blue buff push. This also looks like a Zerg icon, guys. So copyright right there. They nerfed blue buff from 5 to 20% of haste to 10% haste. Crest of Cinder's red buff got nerfed where it just doesn't have a level 11 benefit. Level 11 used to be, oh sorry, yeah, level 11 used to be 5% max HP regen. I think it's after I think it's 5 seconds or 1 second. It might be 5 seconds. I think it's 5 seconds. I wish they kind of said. They just got rid of that, so it still heals the same at level 6. Yeah, and when Baron spawns and makes these Voidborn Blue Sentinel and stuff, it doesn't transfer buffs when you kill them. And whatchamacallit? Oh, and when the Rift, what was it? Yeah, when the second dragon is slain, it becomes enhanced. Where if a laner kills this, it'll leave a buff for the jungler to take, and the jungler item being upgraded isn't tied to the the mechanic where if the jungler killed the monster, it leaves a buff. Anyone can kill it after the second dragon. And 20 minutes, the Ref Scalar does get enhanced, and when you kill it, it pretty much just gives an AoE scrying orb and reduces all ward HP to 1. That's all that is. Baron Asher, there's 3 versions. And here's the thing that tells me. All-Seeing Baron. I'm pretty sure this is All-Seeing, right? This is All-Seeing. So this is the second one is actually the first one. Hunting, which is the horn, which hunting. I'm like, oh, I'm poaching rhinos. Don't do that. I think that's very sad. And also, I think rhinos are actually recovering some of them. Um, Hunting Baron is actually the first one they said is actually the second one, and Territorial is correct. So they actually messed up the order here, which is kind of tilting me. But essentially, All Seeing is the regular Baron. You'll see the regular Baron pit. Hunting is going to be like this weird cavern. I'll show you, and then Territorial is like there's these giant walls, and he shoots like a pulsing orbs or something like that. So this is the Hunting. Wait, am I lying? What? Okay, you know what? I'm actually pissed off. You know what? I'm mad because I don't like how they did this. They say Hunting Baron, it's here, and then they do it the first thing. You know, I don't like that they do this. Why would you do this with them? I'm actually really tilted because that confuses me. I was expecting to see All Seeing here, so I'm wrong. I'm sorry. So ignore everything I just said about these barons, as in the type of terrain. So the Hunting Baron is a normal Baron pit, and this is what makes lightning spawn. all the barons is essentially don't group up. Everyone needs to be separated. One guy here, one guy here, one guy here. Oh, okay, there's lightning. Let's walk. And you don't want to be like in a line like because you guys need to walk away because there's gonna be a little lightning strike. So you just need to make sure you're not, you know, you have room to move away. Territorial, which is again, it's weird because they say the third option is the second one. I don't like the order they did this. Territorial is yeah, it is that one. I just don't like the order they did this. This was the one where they like he grabs you or something like that. I believe. Again, every single time they talk about that, they just say, "We don't want you to grouping on a single side. We don't want you to. We want you to distance." Like it's just don't group, we group. So and then the all-seeing Baron Pit. It shoots some kind of pulsating orb, I think, around here or something. It's something like that. I don't know. I didn't get too much into it. Again, it's mostly just don't be next to each other, and just don't be. I think with this one, it's actually okay to be grouped. Just don't be in these patches or something. I'm not sure, something like that. Some terrain changes. So the bush here is closer to tower, so if someone's walking, they're very close to the tower. Because I think before this bush over here used to be over here, so if you caught them going to our tower, they're not close enough. So this helps the strategy where people camp in this bush and wait for them to come back in lane because they're very close to the tower. They're like flashing distance. But why would you have flash if you just died? Lol. Um, Another change was obviously this giant wall because you can't just like go this way and go this like essentially if you're red side you're here. The only way you can get ganked is through here, and yeah, you can't really have someone loop unless they have like a dash or something. And bottom, I mean the blue side, this bush is different, and the distance from this bush to here is bigger. So if you put a ward here, you have a lot. Like say I'm over here, you have a lot of time to react to this gank. Because before, if you put a ward here, like you would only react like when you're here, so that's a lot more time. Um, that was the old Baron Pit, I think, too, which is funny. I don't know. What else? These bushes, I think, got pulled back, so they used to be like here, and now they're back there. Was there anything else? I kind of would have drew pictures on this to show what they changed. Uh, yeah, they did change stuff here too, by the way, where there's obviously no bush here now, and there's also no bush here as well. Do they even show that? I mean, they kind of do. I mean, because there was definitely a bush here. Yeah, there's also no bush here as well. Hmm, interesting. Um, Bot lane has there's no ramp here to go up. You can just go through this bush. So bot lane red side getting turret dove is going to be a lot more common, I think, because it's not a pain in the ass to go all the way around and getting seen by wards. It is also more the counters. The flip side of that is that you just if you are afraid of getting tower up, you just ward this bush instead of like, do I ward over here? Because are they going to dash for the wall or are they going to walk around? Things like that. This bush is also over here, so you can't just put a ward over here. You need to put a ward here now, so you can't just do a ward trick. What else got changed? I don't know. I don't like care too much. There used to be a bush here. I mean, I don't know. It just changes how you play, I guess. We'll see how I play. I don't know. I'm nothing to say about that. Infernal terrain changes was it no longer destroys walls, but Infernal Cinders spawn randomly on the map. The losing team has a higher likelihood of spawning them. Picking up a naturally spawned Infernal Cinder grants a small burst of movement speed and grants Infernal Cinder stacks. 0.3 ability haste per stack. And when you kill someone, they will drop some of the remaining. On death, up to 5 cinders can be retained, with some of the remaining being dropped to the ground and the rest destroyed. They don't give movement speed when you pick them up in this way, and okay, that's great. Again, just general changes. The new champions got buff with 3 armor, something to do with projectile time, science major. Something to do with making jungle better mid game because some junglers were clearing very good early, but then they would flop apparently in the mid game. So this is apparently to help it. I didn't really care too much. We're like, okay, great. So Reclear better mid game. Great. Mythic items got removed. Items that were mythic items are obviously items now. They removed mage items. They removed the following items: Crown of the Shadow Queen, probably because it's anti-gameplay, because it encouraged someone to either play too safe to not get hit to have value in a big team fight, and also discourage someone from all-inning someone. So it's probably a toxic item. Everfrost, I hate that item. I think that item was OP and actually made champions that are not supposed to be the wave clear as good, wave clear too good. So I think that's a good. Leeching Leer. I don't even know what that item is. That's how irrelevant it was. Demonic Embrace. Wow, that's a big item to remove. I actually like that because I think that item was such a stat check item, as it was so generally good it had to be removed. I actually like that. I actually like that they removed that item because that item was just so strong. It was so generally strong. So I actually like that they removed that. That's very good. Stopwatch, perfectly timed stopwatch got removed. Oh, that's interesting too. Yeah, because I know what they did with the Zanya. Zanya is still in the game, and you'll still have a little mini stopwatch, but that's interesting who did that. Um, so Riftbreaker, the interesting note about it is that Omnivamp heals you for the full amount with pet and AoE damage against champions. The against minions and monsters is 20% only 20% effectiveness, but you need a proc it, so you need to be in champion combat for 5 seconds. So like if Zyra, I mean I'm pretty sure if you have Leandries, the interaction still exists where if you hit them with one spell with Zyra plant, the burn counts as 5 seconds in combat, and then Riftmaker can proc. So pets and AoE damage is pretty big. I wonder if there's gonna be some weird Malzahar Zyra build or something with like being tanky with Riftmaker with like a Leandries or something. Probably. Because the pet and AoE damage full healing, someone pointed this out on the League Reddit and everyone dismissed them. But I think that's such a huge change, and people are like, well, it doesn't work on minions or monsters. Well, it's like it never did work anyway on minions and monsters because you had to. Well, I think the old version actually had Omnivamp to begin with, but still, it's like you're not going to be taking damage from minions and monsters. They don't do damage. The only time you would want this effect is when you're in combat. So when you're in combat, that's when it matters. These people are dismissing it because they're like, "Oh, 20% less effective against minions." They're like, "Yeah, but it's 100% healing against 100% healing against the champions, which is the only thing that matters." So I think this has a lot of potential for some drain tank nuke builds with like Brand or something, or Zyra and Malzahar and I don't know, probably someone else. Probably Brand too or something. I'm not sure if his ultimate's classified as AoE or not. I think it's single target. New item Legends. When you damage an enemy champion with your ultimate, burn the ground for 3 seconds, dealing damage. Reduce their magic resistance by 1 per user level, as long as they're on the ground. So like if you're level 11, they have minus 11 magic resistance. Radius of 550. Radius increased based on damage done. I'm not sure what this is good on because I don't. I mean, this has mana attached to it, so I'm not sure I'm gonna be on Rumble or something. I don't know who this is good on. 'Cause I don't play mages. That's the thing. Mages get so many cool tools, and mages always get called weak. But what mages have some of the. Well, I don't know. I like the mage itemization. Everyone shit talks about. I think they make it boring. Um, I'm not gonna think too much into it. You can maybe say, but I mean, I'll probably see that anyway, as like by playing or something. But it looks okay. Loon's companion, getting a shot every 3 seconds up to a maximum of 6. Damaging abilities consume all shots. Charters deal an additional 40 plus 8% AP magic damage to the target, and 1 additional nearby target per charge. If there are insufficient targets in range for each remaining shot, repeat the damage on the primary target, dealing 35% of the damage. Um. Hmm. That's really good for clearing. LeBlanc's gonna like that item a lot. This is a very good item for LeBlanc because it helps her assassinate targets, and it also helps her farm minion waves because it's a double-edged sword. If they're alone, more damage. If there's a bunch of enemies, you do AoE damage. So this is definitely going to be. I think this might even be a first or second item on LeBlanc because it just looks really good. I mean, probably first considering people building static shiv first on LeBlanc and stuff. This is actually looks like a very fun item for laners. Um, Storm Surge, 5% movement speed, 10 magic pen, 100 ability power. Dealing passive, dealing 35% of a champion's max HP within 3 seconds. Applies Storm Surge to them, and grants the user 25% movement speed for 2 seconds. Passive Storm Surge. After 2 seconds, Storm Surge strikes the target with lightning. Dealing 120 to 260 based on level, 40 AP, melee, 90 to 195, 30%, blah, blah, blah. Magic damage to them. If they die to lightning or before lightning strikes, it detonates immediately in a large area around them, and you gain 30 gold. Wow, that's crazy. What's the cooldown on this? Nothing? Oh, it's the 30-second cooldown. Yeah, yeah, because I always feel like it's kind of confusing because they don't, like, especially, because this is called Stormbrighter, then Storm Surge. So it's like Storm Surge strikes the target with lightning, but like what procs it? And you should probably say after procking Stormbrighter, after 2 seconds end procking Stormbrighter, Storm Surge. I don't like the wording here. I think it's really some of the wording in this patch notes I disagree with because a lot of it's like Jetix level. This item looks very fun because one has a lot of moon speed. LeBlanc probably would like this item a lot. I think the LeBlanc build already Luden's Companion and Storm Surge. That's what the build is because this helps her roam. When she nukes someone, she can stay in range with her chain and help dodge skill shots, and then it's a big nuke. So looks very strong. This is a roaming assassin item, and like they just showed LeBlanc's build right here, guys. Oh, that's a really good item. That's a really good item, honestly. Hex Tech Rocket Belt. I don't think they really changed this item. No, I don't think they did. There's like I think it's weird. Like they just list the item, but it's like, well, what did you change? Like maybe they changed it. I don't know. They look kind of the same to me. Haunting guys. I think this item existed before. This does damage. Wow. So that already existed. Okay, so Leandri's Torment. God, my nose is so itchy. Gosh. Uh, so the damage cap to monsters was lowered from 100 to 50. I don't know why my nose is so itchy. I apologize, but I don't care. I like this because it makes it so it's less needed for like champions like Lilia because I really dislike that Lilia is so tied to Leandri's Torment for clearing. It actually really pisses me off. I would like it if, like, I think because this item's nerfed, if Lilia does need buffs, they will probably have an issue buffing her because she's not tied to an item. I hate champions tied to an item. That's always annoyed me. So I like this change. You should only build this if there's very tanky champions out. Oh, I need this to help my clear, which is why Lily players built it. Horizon Focus. Did anything change about this? No. Seeker's Arm Guard. Maybe they did change something. I just don't know. It just looks the same to me. Seeker's Arm Guard is 1,600 gold now. I think maybe it's always been 1,600. I'm used to saying being 1,100, 1,200. Maybe they nerfed this a lot. But now as Stasius, it become untargetable for 2.5 seconds. When you upgrade Azanias, you obviously get it back. So you can't just invest 650 gold in a team fight or 850 or whatever it was. You have to invest a whole 1,600. So it's quite a lot more. I wonder what the sellback on this item is, or if sellback is the same for every item. I think every item has a different sellback value. Crypt Bloom. Well, we're RuneScape now. What's this item do? Oh my god, my nose. I just watch Translator. It's just the top of my hand, and guess what? I'm in my own house, so I don't care. So there you go. Total cost 2,850. 60 ability power, 10 ability haste, 30% magic pen. Holy crap! How much is void stuff? Wait, 40%. So this gives a little bit less. Whenever you get a takedown on an enemy champion within 3 seconds of damage to him, create a healing nova on their location that heals allies for 50 plus 50% AP. Does this work on you or only allies? Cause like I'm my own ally, So like, does it work on you? If it does, that's very strong. If it only works on allies, it's very strong. If it works, this is a very interesting item. I like this a lot. I feel like this item's very interesting. It's for people who want to stay in after the kill. So champions like maybe like Lilia, because they dart in and out. This is also good for Mord. Depending on how the interaction, if he kills someone with his ultimate, he all of a sudden he heals a lot, maybe. Although wards usually have more bruisery than AP. This can also help, like, a mage is nuking the front line. They nuke whoever's in the front, then they heal their team. This is a very big I think this item is extremely strong. This item is very, very, very strong. Because even if you're the back line like a Zero or Victor or something like that, if you get a kill, it's 3 seconds of damage to them. It heals. It heals. I mean, even if it doesn't heal you, this is so strong. Like, this is just a very strong item because 300 AP. You'll heal 200 HP. Like, that's a lot. It's like 200 HP on all your teammates can change the tide of a fight. Create a healing nova. Like, when I say a healing nova, is it just instant? Is it over? I'm assuming how they word this. It's just an instant 200 HP heal. Like, if you have 300 AP, it's an instant 200. It's just because a nova is like a flash nova. Like. So they didn't say anything about any timing. So as soon as you kill him, instant 200 HP heal, no delay. This item's insane. This is OP item. This is very good if you're playing a control mage. I think this is less important if you're playing champions like Ari or whatever. I mean, maybe it is because usually when you catch someone, everyone kind of just goes crazy. This is just a very strong item. I mean, compared to voice staff, so 60, 10, 30. And it's 20, 50. Well, let's compare this to voice staff. 3,000 gold. Ability power increased to 80. I think this voice staff is like for the assassins. I feel like voice staffs for assassins like Ari, and Cripplim is for champions like Azir and Victor. I also feel like this item almost honestly might be more for like pro play because like this item is just so strong. Anything with like an instant effect that instantly heals or helps any of your allies is so strong, and you only lose 10. I mean, yeah, you lose 10 magic pen and 20 ability haste. Is 150 gold cheaper. It gives you ability haste. It's just 20 less AP. And it's 200 less gold. Oh no, the ability haste is pretty good too. Definitely more control feeling. I think any assassin like a LeBlanc wouldn't take this. A LeBlanc would take a void staff. So yeah, this is definitely a control mage thing. I definitely agree that's a control mage thing. Shadow Flame. Uh, magic damage can magic damage and true damage critically strikes enemies below 35% H health, dealing 20% increased damage, increased to 30% damage for overtime and pet effects. So it's not just a one-time effect. As long as they're 35% or lower HP, they will die. So yeah, the long builds. It seems like it's those two items. It's Luden's Companion Storm Surge into freaking Shadow Flame, and then into like Void Staff. That's a little. I need to go play with her. That'd be funny. What if Darius built this? His true damage ultimate. I guarantee there's gonna be some stupid people building stupid things. Just a troll. Amp Tome is now 400 gold. Oh yeah, this was incorrect before. Blasty one, 850 gold. Ability power was 40 to 45. They literally said in the patch notes this was lowered from 20 to 40 or 40 to 20. It was wrong yesterday when I read this. I was like, what the hell is that? There were so many errors. It was hilarious. So this got buffed. The Mage got buffed a lot. Uh, the, 5 more ability power, 35 less gold, 10 more ability power with the large rod. And here are the good changes. So Zanya's got increased because this is such a strong item. Yep, it got increased in gold. It does give you more ability power. So this is similar to the old Zanya. I think the old Zanya's back in season 1 2 gave you 120 ability power, which is maybe a nudge towards that, which is kind of funny. I swear it did. Because it was just 2 Needless rods, which was 120 ability power. Armor was increased by 5. It gives no ability haste though. So I would actually say this is hard nerf because ability haste is a very valuable stat, especially the lower you have, I guess. Um, I like this. I also like that they got rid of the one thing that you will see a common theme in this patch notes is they're getting rid of a lot of ability haste because after they got rid of a lot of ability haste like 2 years ago, they kind of kept on reintroducing or buffing ability haste on a lot of items, and then we went back to the same state where everyone has ability haste. So I like that they're getting rid of all, like this ability haste stuff where like if you buy Zhonya's, it better be for the Zhonya's and no for the Zhonya's effect, and not just oh I'm buying it because it's just generally good. Banshee's Veil increased by 500 gold. Ability power was increased by 40. Magic resistance increased by 5. Ability haste was 10. Now it's 0. And it applies a shield. It's a 30-second cooldown. I swear this cooldown was a minute before. I might be wrong though. Who knows? But I don't know. I like this a little bit more because instead of being so utility based, it's like it does its job better. It gives you the more MR. It gives you that nuke potential. So like if you're playing a high AP ratio champion, you do more damage. I think this has a more clear definition because I feel like before it just felt bad because like the stats were everywhere. I like that the stats are more focused. We're kind of going back to season one where man we might see 1,000 AP on champions again. Um, Verdant Barrier got buffed or changed. It was 1,000 gold. Now it's 1,800. Ability power increased from 20 to 40. Magic resistance increased by 25 to 30. And now instead of giving MR per target killed, it's a spell shield, just like Banshee's Veil, but it has a 60-second cooldown. So this item's actually very good as well if you're having issues with some kind of new combo. So I actually like this item a lot. I like how they did this. I like the mini effect. I'm actually a big fan of this. Good job. Archangel Staff. Uh, what did they do? I mean, they didn't change the gold. They increased the ability power by 10. Increased ability haste. Yeah, I always seen Archangel as the ability haste item, so that's fine. They overall just seem to buff this item. Yeah, this item just got mega buffed. I don't think anyone was really building it, so that's funny. They did nerf Seraph's Embrace though, so the stats got changed to match Archangel's staff. Health is 0 now though, and they what did they do? I don't know what else they did, but yeah, they pretty much just made the base item better, but nerfed the upgraded version a little bit. Rabadon's Death Cap, gold's the same, 20 more ability power, so it's better as a second or third buy instead of being that icing on the cake. It only increases your ability power by 35%, not 40%. I think it is roughly the same. I think this is mostly just help like I don't know, maybe like early like a second or third purchase. Maybe it's supposed to nerf like higher end builds because of how much more AP other items have now. Again, we already talked about Void Staff. It's a solid item still. Just more investment. Rod of. And one thing I think that's funny about Void Staff is people are like, Void Staff's better against lower MR targets, and I think that's so funny because I think that's a problem in itself where Void Staff should be very good against high MR targets. I actually think it's a design problem when it's so good against low MR targets because it's like even if you build armor, it feels bad. I don't know. Like maybe it should just be 20 magic pen plus. I don't know. That's not my job. I don't care. But I just think it's an issue when it's so good even against low MR targets. I mean, it's not even like so good. It's just it functions as if you're just building, a shadow flame. It's just the default magic pen value. Rod of Ages, 40% is so high. This item's been buffed so much. Like you only have 50 MR. Like this is like the most magic pen of like any item in the whole game. Jesus Christ. Rod of Ages got reduced by 200 gold. Ability power lowered by 10. Health 50. Mana by 100. And they removed for every 200 healing or mana restored, gain 35% movement speed that decays over 3 seconds. Um, yeah, I think this was kind of weird to play around with. I'm not sure if this is a problem, but I actually think it was very clunky, honestly, so I think that's good. Felt like you were playing the item. I don't know what they do with the item. Lichbane got changed to have Spellblade now grants 50% attack speed when available, so this will help out those that, like if Azir Victor or I don't know any mage builds this. They're going to attack very fast. This won't change champions like Fizz and Evelyn because, you know, when they use their abilities, it always goes off. So, oh well, it actually probably might help Fizz if he engages aggressively, but they kind of rarely do that anyway. Um, Besides that, they buffed AP by 15, increased gold by 100, and they buffed the passive that have 100% base AD instead of 75%. So they didn't buff the AP ratio, only the base AD. I think that's fine because before they buffed the AP ratio and they immediately nerfed it, and I hate how the community defended or like, well, the season's different. Season 2 or Season 3 Lich Bane was different. And it's like, bro, no, the value's the same. Like, people act like AP values are so much different nowadays, but it's like, the thing you forget is that back in the day, it took a very long time to get 6 items. Like you would like go to any season 2 game, even season 3. It'll be like 30 minutes in the game. People have only have 2 items. Look at 30 minutes in a game now, bro. They're like 4 or 5, about to be 6 items. Some of them. So that argument of the AP values were higher before, yeah. Well, that games were 60 minutes and then it took forever to get an item. Nowadays it's so easy to get items that like yeah, the AP value is lower per item, but you have more items, so they're kind of stupid. That's why I don't talk to those people. Um, Master Tooth lowered by 200 gold, ability power lowered by 10, and besides that, I think overall this is a very good buff because it makes you able to buy other items faster, and it makes you able to have the unique effect faster. So this is overall buff from Master Tooth. It's only nerf if you're a full build, but just kind of rare. Morello's Mamicon or whatever was reduced by 800 gold. As new 15 ability haste, Magic Pen is gone and health is gone. This is honestly, I think, definitely some kind of aggressive support item like Zyra and stuff. If they have anti healing, it seems pretty good. So yeah, definitely they don't. I don't think they want carries to build this. Although it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, maybe it's situational even for Mage's control, but I think like this isn't even the support section. But like I feel like supports might build this, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, it's a situational. It's very cheap though, so yeah, this is definitely the I don't know. I think it's definitely that you want to buy. I mean, they got rid of mythic passives, which is another thing I forgot about. I wonder how they'll change the game. To be honest, mythic passives were kind of small. I kind of miss those. Watch some people miss mythics. I kind of liked mythics to be honest. Hmm. I think there was a lot of issues that like like removing Deathblade. Like why didn't they just do it before? I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. I kind of liked mythics. I'm not gonna lie. I might miss it. I have a feeling some other people might miss it too. I just kind of liked it because I think the trap people had it was they always felt like they had to build it first, but they actually didn't. But Hullbreaker got changed now. I guess 5 movement speed, 350 HP, 65 AD. Every fifth basic attack against champions and epic monsters deals 140 melee, maximum HP damage, increased to 400 to 200%. Against structures. So it helps take down Baron and Dragon and champions, and nearby minions get some armor. So they got rid of the armor and MR that's used to give you when you're alone. So I think that's a good thing because I think the problem with this item, why everyone thought was frustrating, is how as soon as you put this item, the top layer just became unkillable. So I think it's a very good change. This encourages more active play and more aggressiveness than just, oh, I'm an unkillable wall. You just spend all your resources just to kill me. So I think good changes on here. Blade Rune King, did anything change? I'm not sure why they're showing this. They don't show what got changed. Maybe they changed this. Your first base attack as the enemy champion slows them by 30% for 1 second. Wasn't it 3 hits before? Or am I crazy? Maybe that was the change. I don't know. Phage gives 20 movement speed for 2 seconds. Yeah, didn't this used to heal you? So now we're back to the old Phage, guys. Season 1. Eclipse, 220, 20 gold. 78, wow. Wow. 70 AD, 15 ability haste. Hitting a champion with 2 or separate attacks gives you a HP shield. Wow, they got really lethality on this item. I actually didn't look at this before. That's pretty big. Because now it's like, what is this, the fighter section now? Fighter and diver. Interesting enough, though, because they got rid of the lethality and gave Eclipse ability haste, that item can be very good in Vi, perhaps. I think in Vi I was doing Trinity Force before, but I'm not sure. I think Eclipse was very good in my testing, but the problem was this, there was no CDR in Eclipse, so overall in extended fights was less damage. So I think Eclipse is probably a very good item to get in Vi now. Because, oh gosh. Because that's ability haste now. I mean, Maybe I already had ability haste, but I just don't remember it having ability haste, honestly. I honestly don't remember it. I wish I could have showed the changes. They're just kind of listing items and I'm showing what got changed. I don't know, Spirit Children looks the same. Your your spells deal 3% increased damage per stack for a maximum 4 stacks. I don't know. Was that changed? Maybe that's new. I don't know. Um, this looks the same to me. Did they give it? They did give the active back. I thought they got rid of the active on this. I guess they gave this back to active. I don't remember us having an active for the longest time. Oh my god, I think they did. Did this always have an active? Like, I swear I had one, but then they removed it. Because I remember playing Tom Kinch with a Titanic Hydra. I remember, like, I would auto then click Titanic Hydra for the reset. I honestly don't remember. Wait. I don't know. Maybe leave a comment below if you want to say something about that, but, like, I swear they got rid of the active. I think they just reintroduced the active. So that's pretty interesting that they reintroduced this active. Hmm. Oh no, active items. Oh! Next attack is quite strong. Um. Auto. I wonder how that's gonna play out. I used to build Titanic on Viego with Black Cleaver. Yeah, Titanium's back to its old self as well. Some axe item. I think this has not changed at all. New item experimental hex plate. 3,000 gold, 55 AD, 20% attack speed, 300 HP. Passive, gain 30 ultimate ability haste. After casting your ultimate, gain 35% attack speed and 50% movement speed for 7 seconds. This is almost a really good item for Shyvana, but ability haste doesn't do anything for Shyvana's ultimate, sadly. Otherwise, this would be very good for Shyvana. You ult in, all of a sudden 50% movement speed. Man, I don't know. Maybe it'd be kind of funny if it was still good on Shyvana, but I think it's Shyvana, but then it's like, eh. I'm not sure who else this is good on, to be honest. Who is this good on? I can't even think of a champion that's this good on. Because this fighters who like. Does Set really like this? I don't know. Maybe Set. Maybe. Maybe might. Sundered Sky. The first attack against a champion will critical strike and heal for 150, 40 AD, plus 6% missing HP, 15 ability haste, 300 HP, 55 AD, 3,100 gold. So is there a cooldown? The first attack against a champion will critically strike and heal for 140 AD, base AD. Like, what's the cooldown? Is it cooldown per champion? Like, what does that mean? Like, there's like no like this is another thing that bothered me when I read this yesterday. Like, what does this even mean? Like, this is why sometimes I'm honestly not even reading the patch notes that much anymore. It's because like there's so much lack of information, lack of clarity. That's just like, what am I reading? I might as well just play the game and just find out myself. Um, yeah, I mean, this looks like a good item. Like this is definitely a very good item because it gives like this is very like good for like those fighter bruisers. So I just don't know the cooldown, so I can't judge how strong it is. Tunneler, some small item, pretty good. Steel sigil. Wits end got changed. It's 400 gold less, so it's 2,800 gold. Attack speed increased from 40 to 55. Magic resistance increased from 40 to 50. The attack damage was lowered from 40 to 0. Tenacity is 20. And now it doesn't give you the 20 movement speed on hit anymore. It just gives you the. So this is really for like. Oh, I'm seeing a Fiddlesticks. I'm playing Viego. This is actually a pretty good item because it gives you the MR you want. Attack speed is very good on champions like Viego and Shyvana. They don't really care about AD too much, honestly. And again, like against Fiddlesticks, you would want tenacity. So I like this. I like this item because I like that they're testing more things with tenacity items because I kind of like the tenacity items, but I didn't like that they were always so cheap, so they weren't even slot efficient. Like this item is still like slot efficient because it's actually worth more, and you don't have to build like tenacity boots or have legend tenacity to benefit from tenacity because before you would have to build merc treads. So I think this is a good item, as in it's good if you ever need CC reduction, so you're versing Zoe. This is probably a good item. Trinity Force got changed with what should I call it? You don't get a passive AD, a base AD increase when attacking towers or champions. It now gives you 20 movement speed when after you attack for 2 seconds. I like that they just changed. I actually won this 2 years ago. I remember saying this to myself. I was like, I kind of missed Trinity Force movement speed because I kind of annoyed me that Black Cleaver gave it, but Trinity Force didn't. Um, Black Cleaver got reduced by 100 gold. AD Lord increased by 5. Ability haste decreased by 10. And the armor pen got reduced from 5% second up to 6 times to 4% second up to 6 times. And now it says 20 movement speed for 2 seconds instead of stacking with the stacks of Cleaver. So I think this is a more consistent item. I kind of wish it showed what that was before. Stark's Gauge got changed, where it is 50 less HP, but in exchange got 20 more tenacity. It also has a new recipe apparently. And now when it procs, you get, what is this? You just think, I mean, you get all the same effects. You get 10% size instead of 25% size, and you do not get the tenacity. So when it procs, 80% bonus shield, bonus HP shield, and 10% size. And that's pretty much it. Gain bonus attack damage equal to 50% bonus attack damage. Okay. Strikes looks pretty good. Tank and support items. To be honest, I didn't really read this that much. This item looks very strong though. I did read this one. While in combat with champions, every 7 seconds deal 30 to 50 magic damage to nearby enemy champions within 650 units, healing for 250% of the damage dealt. This looks like it's very strong for champions like Zac. Like this is under support. I mean, support and tank, but yeah, this is very strong. This item is just very, very strong in my opinion, because tanks don't die; they dart in and out of combat. So yeah, you heal for 250% of the damage dealt. So like, let's just say it deals, I don't know, 60 damage. You're gonna heal like 100 and like what, 50 or something. I don't care about doing the math right now. Like 150 damage per target, which is insane. So this item is OP as shit. This item's gonna get nerfed, I think. Hollow Radiance. What is this item? Taking or dealing damage. I mean, what is this? So this is This is armor. This is MR. Taking or dealing damage causes you to deal 10 plus bonus HP bad damage per second to nearby enemies. Increased by 25% against minions for 3 seconds. Taking or dealing damage refreshes the duration of this. Sorry, taking or dealing damage refreshes the duration of this effect. Killing enemy ward, non-structure. No, killing an enemy. Sorry, deals 20 match damage to an area around them. So I'm guessing champions and minions, and also maybe even neutral monsters. You can build both these too. So this is a very good MR option. Only builds if you need MR. You just build both these, which is kind of funny. But the unending despair is just seems broken as shit. Like this item just looks so broken. Like, oh my gosh. What does this item do? After not taking damage from champions for 12 seconds, gain a shield for 20% of your max HP. I guess that's just a heavy shield for. I mean, I don't know. Sure. I mean, what is this good on? It'd be kind of funny if some 80 carry built this item. Heartsteel increases your size for every stack. I don't know if this even got changed. I don't know. Okay. Trailblazer, 250 health, 40 armor, 5% moon speed. This is essentially Deadman's Plate, except better. So while moving, build up to 20 moon speed. At maximum stacks, leave a trail that gives allied champions 50% moon speed. 50% of your movement speed. Your next attack discharges built up movement speed. For melee champions top speed, the attack also slows the target by 50% for 1 second. This is a very good Hecarim item because it gives movement speed. It gives you 20 movement speed bonus, and also gives your allies movement speed. So when you E, I'm not sure if let's say I'm Hecarim and I'm leaving a trail. If I E and my movement speed goes like 800, does that trail immediately get the bonus, or is it where the trail previously like only when I got the bonus then the trail gives that bonus? It's probably I would assume the trail just gives the bonus based on like all the trail no matter what is just based on my current movement speed. So this is very good for initiators with high movement speed. So yeah, it's a very good Hecarim item for sure. Um, Zeke's Carvers, I don't think that got changed at all. Locket got nerfed where it gives 10 less ability haste and it does not give passive armor or magic resistance anymore. So that's pretty good because this item was overpowered honestly because this was pretty much an item you built and all of a sudden Assassin's first power spike didn't do anything. Warbox got changed to be 100 gold more, 50 HP less, 5 movement speed. I like that. 10 ability haste was removed, so not 0. And now it's once you have 1300 bonus HP, restored health per you restore HP and gain 10% movement speed if damage has been taken for 6 seconds. This is very strong. So all of a sudden, Warmogs was really bad before. Anyone who built it like Sejuani was really dumb. So now it's actually really good because this item, instead of just making you a meatball, it actually helps you initiate, which is very important for tanks like Sejuani. Not so much Zac. I think it's definitely like champions like Sejuani who don't have inherent HP or recovery. Um, I don't know. Yeah, this looks good. Uh, Jax for the pro team, it got nerfed. It's 100 less HP, 20 more armor, 20 more MR, and ability haste was removed. And again, I like that they're removing a lot of ability haste from items because I hate that every champion feels like I'm playing ARAM. And overall, it looks like a pretty strong item. I'm not sure how good it is on champions like Mord. It probably is a buff through Mord. I think he likes that item. I'm not sure though. That man's plate still exists in the game, which is interesting. Um, the strength of movement slowing effects on you is reduced by 25%. So this was changed. While moving, build up to 40 movement speed. Your next attack built up movement speed to deal 40 plus 100 AD base AD bonus. Hmm. I mean, it could be kind of funny if you just stacked the two. I'm not sure. That's very strange they kept Dead Man's Plate, but then made that item, which I feel like is a better Dead Man's Plate. 2400, 2540. Why would you build this item? That's the thing I don't. I feel like this is a replacement. This to me, this is just strictly better. Like, sure, it doesn't deal damage, but like, I just feel like this is just better in terms of a group setting. Randon's Omen was reduced by 5 armor, and I don't think anything was really changed. Critical strikes deal with 30% less damage to you, so a 5% buff. Um, Force of Nature was nerfed by 5 MR. Iceborne Gauntlet was nerfed, did not include the effect of your primary target suffers double the slow and deals 10% reduced damage to you for 2.5 seconds, and the gold was reduced by 400, 100 less HP, and ability haste lowered by 5. So it's still a good item. It's just not. I think this item got mega nerfed though, so I don't think you'll see Viegos build this item anymore because the reason this item was so strong was because of how much damage it did and it made people unable to kill you. So since it got nerfed, yeah, that's pretty big. They increased the slow though, so I think that's something. They lowered the goal of Winter's approach by 200 gold. Sunfire's still in the game, which is also strange because I also feel like there's already a Sunfire in the game, although this is probably the 8 armor version. Essentially, all this was, I mean, I think all they did was just lower the damage by 3. As you see, do 15 damage a second, now it's 12. I'm not sure why they posted the whole entire fucking text. Um, Knight's Vow was increased by 40 armor, lowered by 50 HP. Base HP per gen got lowered. So this is a lot better item. Yeah, if you're versing a Zed, this helps you against the Zed not assassinating your AD carry, but also makes you not get assassinated. So this is a very big buff to Knight's Vow. Frozen Heart, honestly, I think got massive buff. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Ooh, I taste my. I eat like sausage and like a bunch of vegetables. Total cost was 2,700. Now it's 2,300. The only downside was that it was lowered by 20 armor. Besides that, it's all the same. So if you want this unique effect to shut down like a vein, it's very cheap and accessible to do so. So I think overall this is a buff, honestly, because you mostly just really want that effect and that big power spike ASAP. So I think this is a big buff to item. So you're definitely gonna see that item more. So assassin items, did they remove any fighter items? They removed Turbo Chem Tank. Yep, no one built items. Sad. RP. Radiant Virtue, which I think was a healing item. Yeah. Gurgo Stone Plate. Yeah, that item was kind of annoying. Ages of Elysian. Evershroud. I like that because that was just damage. Oh my god. Bro, how much money do these people get paid? Like, I'm not joking. These patches are so bad. They're like Jetix tier, and Jetix patches are actually getting better now, which is funny. Like, Radiant Virtue. Radiant Virtue got double removed. like, so, like, who wrote this? We make so much money. Oh my gosh. So, assassin items. They removed Dustblade and Prowler's Claw. I'm not sure why Prowler's Claw got removed. I don't think that was too much of a problem. Maybe it was too much mobility. Dustblade, yeah, that was a big problem. I like that they removed this item. So, new item, they made some Voltaic Sword. 2,900 gold, 55 AD, 18 lethality, 15 ability haste. Moving and attacking will generate an energized attack. Dashes and stealth generate attack energized 75% faster. Your energized attack applies 100 bonus physical damage and slows enemies for 99% for 0.75 seconds. What? Maybe I'm stupid, but it says your energized attacks apply 100 bonus physical damage and slows enemies for 99% for 0.75 seconds. I'm not sure. You know, I don't like English. Is this supposed to be by or for? Like for 99% movement speed, or is it by? I actually don't know. It just sounds weird. And slows enemies for because it doesn't say. It just slows enemies for 99%. By 99% movement speed for? Maybe it's supposed to be for. Maybe I'm just confused because it doesn't say movement speed. It just says slows them. Slows them for 99% movement speed, or by 99% movement speed. I don't even know, guys. You know what? I don't like English. Plus, I don't like that they don't say movement speed. They don't clarify. 20% for range users. I don't really like this item that much because every champion I always like playing, like Briar, like I don't think you benefit at all from this. So yeah, I'm not sure there's a world where you're supposed to like W as Briar and like just walk up to him. I don't think so. I think you're always supposed to dash. Um, Profane Hydra. This item I like. It's very expensive though. It's 2400 gold, 60 AD, 18 lethality, 20 ability haste, and you essentially deal 80% total AD attack damage, physical damage to nearby enemies. This damage increases to 100% total attack damage to enemies below 30% HP. That's an active as well. That's pretty good. That's good for clearing if you lack AoE. So it's actually, I think this is a very good Briar item, kind of. I mean, I don't know. She already has AoE, but more AoE is funny. Passive cleave, attacks deal 40 AD melee damage to 450 on hit. I like this item in Briar because it is like double downs on her AoE aspect, so I think it's kind of funny. Hubris is also a pretty interesting item. It's 3,000 gold, 60 AD, 18 lethality, 50 ability haste. Whenever you kill a champion, you're granted a statue of yourself. If you already have a statue, this statue upgrades. I kind of wish this went to the fountain. It'd be kind of funny. When a champion they have damage within the last 3 seconds dies, gain 10 plus 1 per rank of statue attack damage for 60 seconds. So if say you just built this item, you get your first kill. I think you'll have. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if you'll have 11 AD on the first kill or if it's 10 and then the next kill will be 11. I'm not sure how that is, but regardless, it's pretty good for the if you're making constant plays on the map. This is a very good snowball item, I would say. So this item is just very good to get if you feel like you're doing very well and get this early. I like definitely. This is an item I definitely really like. Opportunity, 2,700 gold, 55 AD, 18 lethality, 5% movement speed. Passive, after being out of combat with champions for 8 seconds, gain 5 to 10 lethality based on level. This lethality lasts for 3 seconds after dealing damage to champions. Extraction, passive, if a champion dies within 3 seconds of damage him, gain 150% decay moon speed for 1.5 seconds. I like this item a lot because, one, it gives moon speed, which I love. Very solid stats, very cheap. And the passive is also, you have to be out of combat with champions. It's not out of combat with everything. So I can be jungling, and this will start building up. So, I just finished Raptors. I can immediately go and gank someone and benefit from this 5 to 10 lethality buff. And also, when you kill them, like say with Briar's ultimate, your W runs out after you kill them. So you also need 150% movement speed so you can get away. So this is a very good item. This is a very good item for assassins. It's so cheap. Like my item build, I was thinking of being like opportunity into either hubris. No, what would it be? Okay. This item also might be underrated. This Serpent's Fang got lowered by 100 gold. It's very good against shield users. So I think this item, it gives lethality. So I think people are gonna build this more because the assassins are discouraged to build more HP items. Like they need to build more damage to actually do damage. Lol. So Serpent's Fang is also situational. Um, hmm. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of like hubris. Maybe it's my build is probably gonna be opportunity to either Hydra if the game's kind of stale, or hubris if I feel like I'm doing quite well. So this bubble is this. What's Rectrix? Yeah, this item's also solid. 900 gold for 20 AD and 4% moon speed. That's pretty insane as well. Wow. Let's read dirt. Brutalizer is in the game again. 25 AD, 10 ability, haste, 8 lethality. The Grudge got introduced. It was 20 armor pen. Now it's 11% lethality plus 20 armor pen. It slows enemies. Damage abilities slow enemies with 50% or less of their max HP by 30% for 1 second. I think this always slowed enemies, so I think this was nerfed, was it not? I swear this was always slow enemies with abilities. So now it doesn't do that, which is quite big. Shredded Dirk was lowered by 100 gold, 80 lowered by 5. But everything's the same. So it's actually a cheaper power spike. You'll obviously kill the user using Retrix, but Retrix gives you a mobility advantage. Ghost Blade was lowered by 400 gold. Ability haste was removed. The active was lowered from 25% movement speed for 6 seconds to 20%. And it gives you 40% movement speed on combat, but doesn't give you lethality anymore. Extreme Arc got changed to give you... I think it's the same lethality. I think the math... No, sorry. This was actually nerfed a little bit. So... What was it nerfed? I'm pretty sure it was nerfed. Yeah, so if you had 10 lethality before, it would be... Oh my god, wait. It would be 14 seconds refunded. Now if you have 10 lethality, it's only 13. So this was nerfed a little bit, but I also think it was made to look simpler as well. But this item was nerfed a little bit. Um, the item is a little bit different though. It's a brutalizer instead. And Umbral Glaive was changed to be 300 more gold expensive, so you can't have that early oppression as early now with killing wards. Lethality was increased by 2 though, and it was buffed to deal 3 damage with melee and 2 damage with ranged on wards. So 1 shots with melee and 2 shots with ranged now. So I don't know, pretty power neutral, but I think it was overall nerf because this item getting it that early is insane. And yeah, Super Things got it's probably more. I think it's very situational. If they make more shields in the game, it's better. Marksman items, to be honest, I didn't really read too much. This item's very good at Kog'Maw. It just either gives you armor and magic just like Graves, or it gives you magic and armor pen. Does magic damage on hit. Some things with like, bro, I don't play this stuff that much. I just kind of build whatever and read as I go. It's whatever. Guardian Angel, 200 more gold, 10 more AD, 5 more armor. It was changed to be 100% of your maximum mana instead of 30% of your max mana. So now you have full mana when you revive as a marksman, which is kind of funny. Immortal Shield Bow. Lifesteal was increased by 2%. And what the hell? They removes the attack speed bonus upon triggering Lifeline. This item got buffed. This item gives you a bigger shield now, and it gives you 2% lifesteal. I don't think anyone cared about the attack speed bonus when Lifeline was proc. I don't think anyone cared. Like, I don't think a single person cared. So I think Immortal Shield Bow actually got buffed. It's better than the Mythic version. Kraken's Flare, I think, got buffed. Everything's the same. You got 5 more attack speed. And Kraken's Flare, but Kraken's Flare's interaction with Goonsu's Rage Rage Phantom Hits passive is being reintroduced. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that means. It's good or bad. I think it's a buff to Goonsu's, but yeah, Kraken's Flare was already a very strong item, even though it wasn't a mythic. It was it wasn't a mythic anymore. So yeah, Kraken's Flare just got buffed. It's just a more solid item. Kraken's Flare is super strong. Lord Dominus Regards was increased by 5 AD. Um, uh, this was this was nerfed, so I believe it is the same. It just means that you only have 50% bonus damage instead of 22%, and it caps out at 2,000 instead of 2,500. I'm pretty sure this is relatively the same. Maybe, but I don't know. Overall, this was just nerfed at the high end. I think it was buffed for the low end. Like, if a champion has 1500 HP, I think you do a little bit more damage. Fam Dancer. So I like this with Fam Dancer too. The attack speed was lowered by 5%. Move speed was increased by 3%, so it helps you move more, which helps kiting a lot. And now, when you attack, it gives you 7% attack speed, up to 5 stacks instead of whatchamacallit. Yeah. So as you attack, you get more attack speed instead of you need max stacks to get 30% attack speed. So now it's every time you attack up to 5 stacks, you can get up to 35% attack speed. So as you keep attacking, you get attack speed. So this item actually can potentially be good on maybe a crit Viego as well. It has a lot more potential. So maybe. Phantom, this can item got buffed by 5 attack speed, and I think that was really it. Static Shiv was changed to be up to now. It only hits 6 targets. Before it was 6, 9, 12 targets. So yeah, they also got rid of the minion damage. So they just want only marksmen to build this. They don't want LeBlanc building this item. But LeBlanc already has a better item anyway. Stormvader was increased by 100 gold. AD increased by 5. Collector was overall, I don't know, I think relatively the same. AD was increased by 5, lethality decreased by 2. I think overall it's like a neutral change. It costs a little bit more to upgrade, but that's fine. Yeah, so I like that item on oh yeah, the build on Briar is probably that cheap 2,700 gold moon spam into the collector into I mean, the earlier you buy collector, the better value it is. So if it's probably a situation, but I like the other item for movement speed purposes. So yeah, Essence Reaver increased by 100 gold, and that was it. Support items. Apparently, supports have a stronger power spike. These items give you like some insane effects. You can read it if you want. I don't really care too much. Yeah, it's just like damage or whatever. Like, I mean, like you can just read it yourself if you want to right now. Like right now. Become a plus one when a shield breaks. Become become blessed. Reduce damage by 35% for 2 seconds. That's a slow. Slowing or immobilizing enemy champions grants you one. Wow, that's crazy. Slowing or immobilizing an enemy champion grants you and a nearby ally with the lowest amount of health, 120 bonus HP, and 90 hit movement speed for 4 seconds. That's very strong. That's very strong. That's very just a what is this item? Oh, that's a very strong. That's one's probably the best one. Moons anything with movement speed will be a shit. Um, but essentially, supports are supposed to be stronger middle game. Like they'll have like a half item advantage compared to other champions. So yeah, some things got changed. Staff of flowing water, moon speed removed, 200 more gold. My gosh, there's just too many changes. I mean, bro, in general. Oh, now when you heal, you get 10% movement speed for 3 seconds. Bro, no one even built that. The only built them was OP. Ardent Sensor was increased by 200 gold, 50 more AP. Mana regen increased by 50. Gives 3% more movement speed. They buff Ardent Sensor again. Watch this be nerfed. This item keeps getting burfed and immediately nerfed. They made this item a lot better though. Ardent Sensor. Doran's Blade now gives 3.5% lifesteal. They removed the 2.5% Omnivamp. Doran's ranks now restores 1.25 mana per second at all times instead of 1 to 1.5 depending if you attack the champion or not. Something with Orin item upgrades, I don't care too much about that. There's probably some things that are broken because sometimes there's one item that gives more value for some reason. There's a new rune in the game. Replaces perfect timing. Oh wow, this is even like a. I thought this was I thought this was a keystone. So the first elixir at level 3, you get 580 to minions, and then you get 40 gold. The second one at level 6 is 20 adaptive force for 60 seconds, and then level 9 is on use gain a skill point. And this does not grant a level or modify the rules around adding skill points to abilities. So I'm assuming that let's say I'm level 9, I get the elixir and I put it into Vice E. If I hit level 10, I think I'll get a point. It's just when I hit level 18, I don't think I get any points. I don't think I can use anything. I'm not sure. They don't explain that. I'm not sure if you go from 9 to 10, do you just not get a skill point? I don't know. Tower adjustments. Inner tower health was increased by 400. Inhibitor tower increased by 200. Nexus tower increased by 300. Backdoor bonus now reduces true damage to towers rather than nullifying it entirely. What does true damage do? I mean, that's kind of funny. I mean, maybe it's encourage the elixir or something, because I don't. Not many things do true damage to turrets. Backdoor damage reduction was 6.6666%. Now it's 8%. I like this because I think backdoor is becoming kind of popular, but it's mostly because of Hullbreaker. So again, this is where they nerf the problem, aka Hullbreaker, but then buff the hell out of something else. So yeah, this is a classic Riot thing. Some things were happening where someone might be silver MMR, but they're platinum because they weren't demoting as fast visually. So that might be fixed. I don't really care about this shit. I honestly don't give a shit about MMR, bro. Like, who cares? Something with fist bumps. Wow. Uh, some dynamic music with Baron. I'm not gonna lie. I think this might be a little bit cringe, and I don't know what I mean, but like, it's like, bro, I'm just trying to play the game. Like, I might have to turn off game sounds because like, I just imagine some. I'm not joking. Some legit neckbeard like getting really. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how I feel about the dynamic music. We'll see. I don't know. I just think I might be a little cringe. We'll see. I might have to turn it off. Okay. This is probably the best update in the entire patch. Is I'm assuming they did us all this testing PB, and then there's no preseason. It's just, hey, the season started. And I'm hoping that this was all relatively balanced because I have no idea what the preseason changes were. Like, as in, like, what big changes did they do from PB to launch? So they added a lot of game quests like Jin versus the new champion, Belvis versus Jax, Nasus versus Recton, and Shen versus Zed. The most impactful one's probably Belvith and Jax, and it's mostly for Jax because if Jax wins, if the Belvith's feeding is a long game, Jax is going to become a god. The other ones are kind of whatever, to be honest. The Renekton and Nasus one is kind of a big deal because 10% longer duration for Renekton can help his Fury. So there's why called Bad Blood? That's a song. Fishing in the Lavender Sea. Is that even a lore battle? Or is this more like funny? Like fishing in the Lavender Sea. I don't think does Jax even fish in the Lavender Sea, guys? I don't know. But overall, I mean, you can read this if you want, but like, I just like it. It adds flavor to the game. I've always, I mean, that's one of the most memorable things. I always remember the first time I saw the Kha'Zix versus Rengar challenge, and I thought that was really cool. So I like that they're doing more of this. I think they should just definitely do more of this type of stuff. Um, do the start of the new season, split one career stats will be reset. Arena Spectre delay was 60 seconds. Team fight text display is 60 seconds. Arena Spectre delay was 3 minutes, now 60 seconds. Summer's Rift Spectre delay was 3 minutes, now it's 2:30. Oh, yeah, war timers are 2:30. Now it's tied to wards. Wards were reduced to 2:30, really? Were you not allowed, and you can now spectate arena and team fight tactics. Were you not allowed to spectate before? I don't think you were. Wow. I didn't even know that technology wasn't there. Wait, did they actually reduce war timers? I mean, I'm not sure if that's always been. Again, I don't know. But wards are 2:30 now. I think there were 3 minutes for. I mean, I'm assuming they changed it this patch. And besides that, that was really it. Like some bugs. Wow. That's pretty much it, guys. So yeah. Bye.